up on The View, the sum of all fear star, Ben Affleck. And find out what really goes on in the summer playground of the rich, famous, and powerful when one woman takes her camera behind closed doors and exposes the hidden Hamptons. Plus, Meredith already did it. They're all doing it eventually. And today, it's Star's turn. She's grilling up a secret family recipe and serving it up to the ladies. All that and more next on The View.
I had this idea for a show. Different women. Different points of view. Maybe a little too different. We call it The View.
I'm just flashed the national audience. That's all right.
Are we still in suites?
What were you and Ben Affleck doing back then?
Shut up! Okay. You mentioned him. Our guest today, welcome to The View. Our guest today is Ben Affleck. We love him. Just said hello to him. Listen to this, ladies. He's cute. He's sexy. He is looking for a woman to carry his baby. Any volunteers yet? Ben, you should know. Actually, it's true. The poor guy is over there now hyperventilating, whatever. He admits, actually, that he can feel his biological clock ticking. And his friends are now, he's turning 30 this August, and his friends are starting to have babies and get married, and he wants to get on the wagon.
Yeah, but
starting to think about it.
Ben, be careful what you wish for, dear. Have you seen the article in the New York Post recently? I mean, it tells you point blank what a sacrifice it is to have children. They take up all your space, they take up all your money, they take up all your time, the little crumb snatchers.
They're worth it.
I'm not sure.
Also, he's a man. Does he realize a baby doesn't come with a remote? Is he aware of that?
Well, but he also, you know, he could probably afford to have people help him out and so on. So,
but even if you, I think that article over-exaggerated the issues.
Were a little offended.
I wasn't mad at it because they suggested that to take your baby for a walk, you need a stroller. You need a big bag, you need this, that, and the other.
But don't you need a bag? If the baby poops, you gotta change
you got a lot of stuff.
You can't just do the diapers. You have to do the diapers and then change the clothes because those little buggers sometimes poop so much that it goes on the clothes.
Yeah, I mean, so it's worth it. It's not a big deal.
Well,
we're not saying it's not worth it.
What was the point of that article, though? Because it's not like rearing kids has changed over the last few years.
But then it costs so much. You know, if you send your child to a private school, it's like sending them to law school. I mean, some of the schools here in New York cost as much as my whole law school education costs. I could go back to nursery school, for goodness sake. It's expensive.
People just don't, what we're saying is it is worth it. It's worth it. We have children, we love our children, but you know, it's like being a babysitter, having a babysitting job where the parents never come home. That's basically what everyone has to understand. That you are on duty until they are 50 years old.
But I have to be honest, though, maybe it's just the age that I'm at, or because there have been so many studies out, so many books out saying that it becomes increasingly more difficult after 35, for example, to have kids. I am definitely starting to feel pressure, but at the same time, I don't feel ready at all.
You don't?
Not at all.
You don't have to have kids, you know.
No, I know, but I really want to have kids.
There are many children in the world.
You know, I know, but
you don't have to.
But I really want to have kids, but I wonder if there will ever be a time where I feel like it is the right time, because it's such an enormous responsibility that I don't want to take lightly.
There'll be one day like that.
Where just boom?
But you just say, today's the day I want to have them, and you'll do it, and then you'll say whatever, and then you'll have them. Everybody
I don't know.
It's either that day.
You don't plan it and plan it and plan it like that.
Some people do. Some people plan.
You'll either do it her way or you'll wait until the stick turns blue, then you'll know. That's the time. You gotta get ready.
I will bet you that this audience is filled with accidents.
Oh, you think?
You mean they are accidents?
They have been accidents.
Yeah, I wasn't planned. I certainly wasn't planned. I mean,
you know that for a fact?
Absolutely, I know that was for a fact. I wasn't a planned kid. Give me a break. My mother was in college. She had her whole life ahead of her, but she decided to put her dreams on hold and have me. Mothers do that all the time.
That's right.
And I was far too selfish.
See, I think I was planned, and my sister was planned as well.
What about you, Joy?
What?
Were you planned?
What? It was so long ago.
I know.
How was Eve
All
planned?
right.
Eve was, I wanted a baby at that time. Yes, I did. I wanted a baby. But it wasn't like, okay, you know, take your temperature and all that stuff.
Right, right.
No.
Yeah.
And I think my mother, well, I was born around the World War II, so, you know, it was like everybody wanted to have a baby to sort of feel better about the world, I think.
Well, when I say what I was saying, it's just because I don't want to be selfish about it. Like, I want to have a baby when I do feel ready in all different ways, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want it just...
Well, you can have it right now with Ben Affleck. He wants it, so
Yeah.
there you go. You know, he is making me a nervous wreck. I saw this movie, Sum of All Fears.
Same
It's
here.
fantastic, but it's about a nuclear attack on this country, and it feels very real to me, and I'm not sure I'm ready to watch that. I'm watching it, and I'm involved in it, but it's pretty heavy stuff.
I had an anxiety attack.
Did you in the
remember that? It just made my heart do this constantly, and I kept thinking it was either that or the pizza. Remember we had pizza?
That's Hartford, that's right.
It really made me nervous.
The combination.
I mean, you think, first of all, the acting is brilliant.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck and Morgan Freeman, clearly, just amazing. But the presidential character and the chief of staff and those people, they really didn't know what to do. And I was hoping that if something, God forbid, happened like that, they would know a little bit more. It scared me.
A nuclear, no one knows what to do if
That's
anybody
what
brings a
scared
nuclear
me.
bomb. Forget
If it
about
really
Don't think
truly
about
happened,
it. I thought
what
about it
would
when
we
I was a
do?
kid all the time. You know, under the
Under
desk.
the desk, yeah.
And just the fear that Russia was going to send a bomb. And it made me nuts for
But we
years
had a
and
little
years.
bit of a
Still the
plan. You
most
knew you were going to
paranoid
go
person.
into a shelter. You
Right?
knew. Didn't you practice going into bomb
Oh, yeah,
shelter?
like those shelters were
I
going to do
know,
anything.
but we had a plan.
But this happens at a place that's huge and scary because we all could have been there. I won't tell you because it's just wonderful and exciting. But you could see yourself in that situation. That's what made it very frightening.
Remember shortly after September 11th, a lot of government officials were calling in directors and people in the film business to talk about different scenarios.
Yeah.
I think it's really important for our political leaders to watch movies like this because even though they may seem completely fictitious, to just weigh out all the possibilities, I think
Yeah,
that's
you
kind
mean
of
like the FBI, the Forget About It Bureau of Investigation?
They should.
yeah.
They're the primary ones.
All right. Our other guest is Barbara Koppel, who's just done a mini-series on the Hamptons. I want to ask you about it. It's going to air on ABC over 2 nights. I think it's a 4-hour series. But you guys have homes there. Is it a
I
fair
don't call
depiction?
it a home. I have a house.
You're right. You have a house
When
there.
you say we have homes there, you know, you expect a mansion. It's just a little house.
We have houses there. For people who don't know the Hamptons, if you don't live in New York, it's like as close as we come to Beverly Hills out here on Long Island. And the moneyed people go there.
Well, I was there
regular
last
people go
week.
there, too.
I know, but I was there last week at a party. This is true. I was at a party at Claudia Cohen's house. They were honoring Regis Philbin. Somehow I got on this list. I don't know how they invited me, but they did. Guess who I was sitting next to? And it was a big table, 25 people. Calvin Klein on my left and Lizzie Grubman's father on my right. Hand to God.
Did you ask him anything?
He went
I asked Calvin Klein, when is he going to make plus sizes? That was my deal. And Lizzie Grubman's father was like, I said, oh, the aggravation you must be. He said, I can't even talk about it. So
He's also one of the most talented lawyers in America.
he was lovely. I liked
Yeah.
him.
But I watched the documentary with longtime residents of the Hamptons, and we didn't recognize those people on there.
See,
Really?
I
Yeah,
did.
I just found it very shallow, young people just coming to hook up.
No, but they had fishermen also in it.
Which I did like. I like the locals because
Right.
that gave me a little more about
But
the town I live in.
to say that doesn't exist out there is
Oh, I didn't say
really...
it doesn't exist. I just said I don't recognize them. I don't encounter those people.
Because when I first moved to New York, I had no idea what the Hamptons experience was all about. And I had some friends who were getting a share, which means a bunch of people get together and they rent this house for the summer. We paid more money than I've paid for anything for this one summer. And there were 4 of us, 4 women, plus all of our boyfriends. So 8 people in a house, plus between 4 and 8 dogs at any given time.
Yeah.
So I would come back, and on Sundays we would go out. In the morning I'd wake up, there'd be people sleeping on the couches I didn't recognize. It was a crazy experience, and it was fun. But having said that, I'll never do it again.
Why?
It was
Why
just
not?
because it was just too
Well,
crazy.
you've outgrown it, probably.
Yeah, that doesn't appeal to me
But you
anymore.
know that's
but it
not
happens.
my experience. You come to my house, we don't
You're
do
right,
that.
you're right.
We don't do anything like that.
Yeah, you're right.
No, but there's a lot of
swim, we
different people
relax,
there.
that's right.
And she covered a lot of them, I think.
It was diverse, but whatever. I tell you, we can talk about it now when we come here. But first, can we bring out the very talented, the very cute star of the new movie, The Sum of All Fears? Actually, he's handsome. Ben Affleck is here at the View. Plus, as we've been discussing, the woman behind the new miniseries, The Hamptons, is here, and she's giving us her perspective perspective of how the rich and powerful play in one of the most exclusive summer communities in America. And then we're all attempting to cook up an old family recipe, and today it's my turn. The creation of my culinary masterpiece has been caught on tape, and the ladies are going to give it a taste test later on, okay? I made ribs, you guys.
Can't wait.
Speaking of some really fine ribs, we'll be right back with Ben Affleck.
Are you Ryan?
Yes, sir.